I'm back, bro.
Hey.
Damn, sorry about that. I don't know what the hell happened.
Berg himself blocking us.
And triangulate on your... Man, you were talking, you were saying some good stuff. I forgot. What was the last thing you were saying?
Give me a quick second. I gotta try and get my earbuds.
That's all good. Hold on. Yeah.
They should be good. Hopefully, it's just.
Are we good now?
All right. Or it won't.
All right, dude. Say something now.
Okay. So it had to do with the bureaucracy and the abuse of the bureaucracy. By the reporting system in the brand new UFO community, where like everybody's seen something now, right? Like, and if you are of a high enough rank, you can abuse the order, and you can abuse the chain of custody with which these sightings used to be treated with, right? And so now everybody has seen something, and now they're an expert. God bless them, but it just seems so strange that we've got all of these sightings right as we're about to go to Senate hearings. And the truth is, the really cool stuff, they're not going to show on the televised portions.
Oh, no. No, but you also got to remember, why would the government ever inform you about something real? They never are about that. They've never been about that. So now they want to tell us about aliens. And you're right, they have always been here. They've been here for thousands and thousands of years. They've been here. But they're not aliens from another planet. They're just those hybrid crossbreeded satanic created beings. That's what it is. It's an army of them. Work underground and all kind of. They're just hideous monsters. Anyways, they'll just say, "Oh, we come in peace. Take me to your leader." They're gonna stop the World War III. Aliens are gonna save us. They'll be our new master. That's their plan. Because we don't want the masters, like our current masters. Nobody loves. Everybody hates them. So they're not gonna try to save that. It's over. And they're gonna come in with a new master, new game, revolution worldwide, alien invasions. And the Q movement preached this a lot, bro. Q movement was all about this thing called the Intergalactic Federation, and Q is working with aliens, and Trump is working with aliens to take down the evil cabal. And it's so funny. They're like, yeah, the one world government's so evil. We should get rid of that and instead join our intergalactic federation of planets. It's like one world galaxy. One galaxy, it's basically like a one world government magnified times 1,000. They're like, yeah, we're way better. Anyways, that's kind of like the whole picture, and that's what we're seeing right now. And that's what they're telling you about aliens.
So, are you familiar with the book Alien World Order from Len Kasten?
I think you've mentioned that book before, maybe, but I have not read it or anything.
Okay, so he goes into the Intergalactic Federation, but it only touches on a little bit. It touches on the reptilian aspects. And one of the things that I just got put onto recently from a buddy of mine who's a minister was that there's all of the reptilian influence in stuff like G.I. Joe. In G.I. Joe, in the movie, he's fighting Serpentor, right? Like, he's the king of the lizard people. All right, they're fighting Cobra. They're fighting things like fighting for the black cube of Saturn, right?
Yeah.
Like dark triangle, like black pyramids. It's crazy. There's so many little crazy sort of nuanced references to what we talk about so openly right now, but this by the same people that brought us the M16. You know,
Yeah.
the people that were selling us the war, ironically, when we were kids, were also selling us on like informing us about the lizard people and these and the evil people that live down below. It's crazy.
Well, it's all the secret societies at the top. They all are a part of a religion. It's something David something. Okay, it has something to do with David. Okay, and in that church, they have to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. And if they tell you they're going to do it, they have special powers and provisions in heaven to do it. So subconsciously through Hollywood, they tell you what they're going to do, and they implant that subconsciously seed in your mind. And through that, somehow they get certain permissions to actually do those things. So, they've already told you exactly what the future is going to look like, and it's in the movies. And I'm talking like Matrix. I'm talking Terminator. I'm talking zombie stuff. Independence Day. It's all going to happen. They're going to put us through some wild ass game because they're not going to lose. They're not going to just give up. Because if they don't do something, they're finished. They're backed in a corner. They got powerful weapons, and they're going to make a move. And everybody, a lot of people are going to fall for it. So it's all coming soon, way before 2024. 2024 is going to be wild. We're talking wild stuff between now and 2024, like this world's never seen. Because ain't no way they're going to let Trump be president. Let me tell you what they're going to do. They're going to piss everyone off. Everyone. They're going to piss them off. They're going to say 390 million people voted for Biden. That's what they're going to say. They're going to piss because they want you mad. They want you mad. And they want you to because they're trying to create a world war with Ukraine and Russia. I'm on Team Russia. I'm on Team Ukraine. I'm Democrat. It's a big. And then what they're doing is they're basically grouping everybody to one side or the other. So now Democrats are connected to Ukraine now, right? And then they get some truthers who are connected to Russia. The Q movement is connected to Russia because Putin's secretly working with the aliens to kill all the evil cabal. They're creating this two-side system because they're going to try to sell the world on World War III because they're trying to get the damn numbers down. Anyways.
I see it. I see it. Because essentially what you're doing is you're making everything a black or white issue, but you're making 5,000 issues so
That's
that
right.
nobody can agree on everything. It's like finding something to believe in. It's like it makes it very hard to, because everything is set up in a way that is supposed to split people up and to disagree. But there are 1,000 different issues that you could be on the side of. Are you on the side of this, but on the side of this? Oh, you're pro-life, but are you this far pro-life? Well, if you're not that far pro-life, then I don't think we can be friends. Or if you're not that far pro-choice, then we can't agree on things. Or. And it just becomes this longer game of divide and conquer, where you've created 3,000 different things that people are willing to die over.
It's also distractions, like just all the governments in the world basically forced people to take a vaccine they didn't really want, and there was casualties. But let's talk about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard shitting on his bed. It's all just like distractions. Murder has taken place, and justice. We demand justice, but we can't demand justice when our mind is so it's simply entertained. So they got.
Hey, Hunter, my brother, you're breaking up pretty bad. I want to throw out there though that like bed shit really isn't that uncommon. Okay, so I know at least 3 cases where um, a young lady has gotten shit in the bed, and it always involves alcohol, right? It never doesn't involve alcohol, but shit in the bed, particularly in a hotel room, is not the most uncommon thing to make a big deal out of it. Let's see if MUDFLOODMEMES still wants to pop in. I think we lost Hunter for the time being, which is a drag. It's always a drag to lose Hunter. Hunter is always a good one. Hello, Mudflood. How are you?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Man, I appreciate you being all safe. I appreciate safety is important. You know, you don't want to get anyone sick.
Yeah, recent information's come out. We can spread that thing through the cell phones. So I'll just, be safe.
I appreciate that. Good looking out. Good looking out.
The terms have gone digital.
How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. I'm just, I'm about to start some work, and I thought I'd pop on real quick before I get busy.
Well, I appreciate that. Was there anything about the alien conversation that you were excited about, or?
Oh, I didn't really hear what you guys were talking about. It was kind of choppy.
I apologize.
It's okay.
Yeah. So we were talking about predictive programming. We were talking about how TV shows like G.I. Joe were doing things like preparing us for the lizard people. Like if you go to the G.I. Joe movie, the secret bad guy behind Cobra Command is a lizard king named Serpentor.
Is an Alpha Draconis.
Yeah. Yeah.
From the constellation Orion.
Okay, so we're on the same. So I'm familiar with this from Alien World Order from Len Kasten. That's how I first really heard about the Draconian lizard people. That's how I first got the dive. But yeah, we were kind of digging into that, and sort of how these Hunter was doing a pretty good job of kind of I think breaking down the history of where they came from and Nephilim bloodlines and the flooding of Noah and Noah's floods. So
yeah, I mean, I used to be really into the Dracon thing. Like I found out about that in like 2003. I was reading some of them icky books. You can't say that guy's name on here, but you know who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, Dave.
Yeah, Dave Icky.
Yeah, Dave. We're just gonna call him Dave.
Oh yeah, Dave. So Dave was like putting out those books, like Children of the Matrix and The Greatest Lie or The Greatest Truth or The Greatest Secret, The Biggest Secret or some shit. And, I read that stuff like it was Laurel and Hardy or the Hardy Boys or Goosebumps, like sit on my lap, I'm going to tell you a scary story, because people would start asking me like what's going on with September 11th and stuff like that. And then I thought that the lizard people did it. So I tell people like, yeah, I'll tell you the truth, but you got to sit on my lap because it's a scary story. Like I was the smoking man from the X-Files or something,
Yeah.
And I smoked cigarettes back then. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but back then I did. And so I'd smoke cigarettes and tell people scary stories about lizard people. And then and they were like liberal type, like pot smoking, like heavy metal listening, like they weren't like political, but they were like apolitical, but they definitely leaned to the left because of like the drugs that they did and the music that they listened to. And they were all about it. Like I wasn't being called like names or anything. And people were like, tell me more, man. Tell me more about them lizard people and the aliens and the government. And, it was like, and these people went to like Whole Foods, like they ate like organic food and they were like, they weren't Republicans or conservatives or anything. They were just like really into all that stuff. And, now it's like, you can't talk about that stuff with people. People are like, oh, you're crazy. Like you're an extremist if you talk about stuff like that. And, but anyways, I don't really know about the lizard people anymore because, where did they come from, and how they get here. I think they're just demons. I think they're just demons, and it's been repackaged to cater to like the UFOlogy type people, like people that are into like spaceships and stuff. But no, I think they're just demons. I think they're just fallen angels. Like, I think that they are the Nephilim, and then the lizard thing. I don't know. I think that's just all code. I think it's all just like Dave was just saying, like, hey, I can't say that they're demons because less people are going to believe me. So I'll say that they're lizard people, and then people will like believe, because there's no real like correlation. Like, where's the reptile connection come from? Like, we look at like Egyptians, you know, they have frogs, you know, they have salamanders, but there's no like giant lizard people. Like, where do we see giant lizard people being like documented in you know, in history? Like, is there any proof of like these people being here before?
I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any. I haven't seen anything dug out of you know, prepared for a museum. But if you were conspiracy minded, you're going to say, of course, you're not going to see them at the museum, because the second that you start coming across an archaeological dig that has 7-foot lizard people, it's going to get shut down.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, where did they get where did the reptile DNA come from? Like, why would there be reptile DNA on the planet Draco, which is in the constellation of Orion? Like, you got to remember, like, if these are Draconians, then they would come from Draco. Like, even Dave says that they come from Alpha Draconis, which is a star in Orion's belt. Like, whereas like the what is it, the good ones, the Nordic looking ones, the Andromedans.
Okay.
Are they the Andromedans, the ones that are?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay, because according to Dave, like, there's all these different aliens, and there's the Dracons, and they're evil, you know, they're malevolent, and then there's the I think it's the Nordics, the tall whites, you know, and they came down from Andromeda, which is the nearest, you know, galaxy, which would still take 1 million years to get to, you know, if we traveled at the speed of light. See, when you start doing the math on like the traveling between Earth and these other bodies, you know, supposedly out in supposed space, it really starts to fall apart, because like, how are we to believe that we're so lucky to be in this time where, like, and it's all theoretical. Wormholes, black holes, speed of light travel, warp speed, it's all nonsense. Like, there's nothing to support it. There's nothing saying that any carbon-based or even a silicon-based life form can handle traveling at the speed of light, or handle going through a wormhole. So that's when I start to like say, oh, well, I think we're just kind of on our own, guys, and God. Like, because I'm a Christian, so it's like, it's hard for me to wrap my head around another intelligent life form that's above humans, because humans are like, we're the top dog. Like, we're the ones that can have a conversation over the internet. We're the ones that, you know, run this thing. So I think aliens are kind of a cope, because we don't want to accept that we created this problem and that we're stuck here, you know, dealing with it, and we don't want to repent, and we don't want to atone for our transgressions. So we say, oh, well, an alien's going to come and like, he's going to save us all, like the alien race. And then that's like Project Bluebeam and, you know, all that stuff.
Man, that's to have any understanding of what you're talking about is a lot to wrap your brain around, and I do. Because it also comes down to the individual, right? So you have to accept that you are the cause and the solution to most of your own problems. And humanity, like the individual, is largely responsible for its own problems. If you're not as healthy as you want to be, ultimately it falls on you, and it's your responsibility. If you're not as happy as you want to be, if whatever the thing is that you're striving for, ultimately a big part of that is you, the individual. And so we're talking about like wrapping the human into personal responsibility on a cosmic level is really a lot to wrap your brain around.
Yeah, so, no, I think that's a lot of what it is. It's like a parental thing. Like, we grow up And you know, parents are great and families are great because we're all humans, and you know, we learn from each other, and we learn how to, you know, become children and then young adults, and then, you know, and then men and women. But we get that ingrained in us, which is good. Don't get me wrong. Like parenting, I'm not. This isn't an attack on that. I'm saying that we get used to that, and then when we get to that point where we're like, okay, now we're adults, we're responsible for ourselves. Like we have a network, but ultimately, like adults have to make their own decisions. Otherwise, they're just, you know, in a state of arrested development, you know, overgrown, you know, man children. So then we start looking, and some people find God, and some people find, you know, solace in like aliens, and some people become nihilists, and they're just like, oh, you know, like I'm like, I was on a stream yesterday, and somebody said, what's the difference between a nihilist and an atheist? And I said, nothing. And that was like a double entendre. It was like nothing, like, ha ha, get it, nothing, ha ha. And then it was also like, there is no difference, because in my opinion, if you don't believe in God, then you're saying none of this matters. Like if God isn't real, then nothing matters. There's nothing stopping me from doing anything. And they're like, oh no, you got to be like a good person. So and it's like, but where did you learn that from? You learned that from religion. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not rape. All that stuff is from religion. It's not from mankind's innate goodness. That doesn't exist. Like we're born with free will, but we're also born with original sin. God doesn't force us to be good. He just encourages us to listen to our heart. Some people choose not to. So if you reject God, if the whole world was godless, I mean, we would revert back to barbarism like that. And then people go, well, Christianity is responsible for war. It's like, that's all bullshit. That's man. That's man using Christianity as an excuse to conquest and to do all that stuff. But if we get rid of God, and it's like, well, then why is killing somebody bad? Why is doing something bad if there's no recourse? You know, it's like secular humanism. But where secular humanism gets its tenets is from Western and Eastern religions. Like be compassionate, you know, help people out, all that stuff. In the Bible, it clearly states that faith is what saves you alone, not good deeds. Good deeds make people boast. Just having faith alone. You don't have to, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but there's nothing saying you have to do good deeds. You are saved by your faith alone. So an atheist thinks that they're a good person for doing good things, but why are those things good? Who taught you that being a good person equals good? So they took the thing and then they just cut God out of it, and they're like, oh, hey, that's a good system. I like it. Hey, that's pretty cool. Let's get rid of that God thing though, but we'll keep everything else. And then they believe in karma and they believe in luck. Okay, luck is faith-based. Luck is supernatural. Luck is paranormal. Luck is the admittance of something higher than us. But we say it all the time. Good luck. Oh man, I got the shitty luck. Oh fuck man, my luck. Luck is like, if you believe in luck, you might as well believe in ghosts, which I do. So, oh, and goodbye means God be with you. So every time an atheist says goodbye, they're saying God be with you. That's where that's derived from. So.
Thank you. Thank you for asking me to join the conversation, my friend.
Yeah, I've been trying to come on earlier because I usually come on in the middle of the night. Like sometimes I don't get on until midnight Pacific. And I noticed, like, I get people from New Zealand and Europe and stuff, but I feel like I got to try to come on a little bit earlier. So that's why I'm trying to come on, you know, it's almost 11 o'clock where I am, a.m.
So you're on the West Coast?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in Alaska. So
yeah, I
close
gathered
enough.
that. I've watched some of your streams. I saw you go to the lumber store a few like a month or so ago.
Thank you.
So I figured you were in Alaska because I could see kind of what was going on. I think you even mentioned it, you know.
Yeah. So one of the new things we're trying to figure out how to do is put together a little DIY concrete skate park in the back of my house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've got a lot of hours in the day to do it now. Like we got a lot of daylight to knock it out.
Yeah, I used to ride skimboards.
Well,
I used to be a skimboarder.
all right. Well, I've got to dip out. I've got to go ahead, sir.
Oh, I was just gonna say I started riding skateboards when I was a kid. I got my first skateboard in like 1991. Okay. And I went through the whole thing with the baggy pants and the small wheels, and the Adidas shell toes, and the like everything was baggy, you know. And I remember like the golden age when like the skateboard companies like World Industries and Plan B and all that stuff, they could put like whatever they wanted on the skateboards. Like no copyright laws existed,
Yeah,
I guess, to
it
them.
was great.
And the skate videos all had like copyrighted music, and they just put it on there anyways and made money off of it. It was like the golden age, man, golden age.
It was absolutely like whatever you think like pirate radio is. That's what skate videos were in the early '90s. It was like it was the coolest music on the smallest wheels and destroyed boards, and it was awesome.
I like how like everybody was doing tricks on like curbs that were like this tall, and it was like a big deal. Like you do like a nollie 720 pressure flip to like tail slide, and that would be like the banger.
The flip side of that though is that boards were 20 or 30 pounds at the time. Like these things weren't light. Like
yeah, they were kind of heavier too. I had the independents that were like the really long independents. You know, like remember when they made the really long trucks because the boards were wider?
Yeah, yeah.
And it had like 28mm wheels. And so I'd like push and push and push. And I wouldn't get anywhere because you'd like start to slow down so fast.
So I've got a couple of old cruiser decks. I've got an old Caballero with like those old Independents and the fat, super fat wheels that like you can go over huge pebbles and they feel like nothing. You know, versus like the little tiny wheels where you feel everything.
Yeah. Well, hey man, if you gotta dip out, I don't want to keep you, but it was fun to pop on.
Oh, it was a pleasure. Hop on anytime you like, man. I heard new stuff today. I learned new stuff. I get to look into stuff. And thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right. Have a great one, my brother.
You too.